Mason Greenwood, having gone ahead to obviously find himself onto the retainer list of the club of Manchester United, looks like a decision has already gone ahead to be made internally that Manchester United would love to see to it that they really see him move on. And guess what? Greenwood, amongst all teams that have gone ahead to show interest in him, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Borussia Dortmund, he has finally come out and given green light to Juventus that you can as well agree a deal with Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you're watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and Heavy. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And don't forget, obviously, subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. And let's obviously continue to see to it that we subscribe such that we hit 20,000 subscribers, guys. That's our mark. We are less by 2,000 something, and let's continue to subscribe and see to it that we hit that mark. But first and foremost, let's hit that 18,000 subscribers, guys, before the end of this week. Now, we thank God for the gift of life and the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. Gazzetta dello Sport, Mason Greenwood has said yes to Juventus. That's what we are getting in through from Gazzetta dello Sport, and they are telling us that he has gone ahead to say yes to the club of Juventus. And they also added and said Manchester United want 30 to 34 million pounds for Mason Greenwood, which Juventus consider excessive. Hence, they are studying including players in a potential deal, mainly Samuel Lilling Jr., Federico Chiesa in another name to pay attention to. Now, for Manchester United, they don't really look at doing a player exchange. That's what Juventus should understand. They are not going in for player exchange. All they are going into is simple. They are going into one thing. They are going into one moment, and that one moment is all about giving you the best of luck. You know, like, they want one thing, and that one thing needed is simple. They are in for only and only money. United want money. They don't want anything else. All they want is money. You can't come here and tell them that there is something else that you need. All they want is money, and they want 34 million pounds for the guy known as Mason Greenwood. And I tell you, they'll come in here and really call in for other things. And some of the things that they'll call in for, you know them very well. One, sell-on clause, that is it. And it will be like a 30%, because they know Juventus reach an extent when they cannot obviously do the needful and obviously pay the amount of money that Man United wants in Greenwood. And he will be that big star, time to come, and then later he'll put himself in a position of really winning the best of the games that he has to serve. They sell him. After selling him, then they see him really getting money. You get? So that's why I think Man United are so much interested into getting what we call what is it called? Man United are so much interested in getting what we call the money, because all they need is the money, and after getting in the money, the rest will be history. You know, get us the money, and United wants to use that money in the transfer window. And that's why I think they even want to get this deal done before the 30th of June, such that it obviously accounts for the previous financial year, and it might be registered as profits that they can obviously be used. And remember, in 3 years you can only have a loss of 35 million pounds. That's what the financial fair play rule really reads. But for Mason Greenwood going to Juventus, I would love it, because Juventus are going to be playing in the Champions League, and he's gonna shine. He's gonna shine. And remember, they are also interested in Jadon Sancho. But if at all they are saying that 34 million pounds are really excessive for Juventus, then that's really very alarming, and that calls in for other teams like Atletico Madrid to come in through to do the needful. But what is going to obviously excite me is that another team has going to obviously coming through and really put in a shift, and its director, he's flying to obviously meet Mason Greenwood to have a talk with him, and that is Sporting Lisbon. And Rui Pedro Braz Lisbon, sporting director, has traveled to Madrid to speak with Mason Greenwood and his father and inform them Benfica are keen. They are genuinely taking steps to sign the Manchester United player. So, the sporting director for Benfica wants to sign Mason Greenwood, and Benfica wants to obviously go in to really sign this guy. And it shows you that at a time where they're saying it's really not okay for Mason Greenwood to obviously be costing that amount of money, they're calling it excessive, another team has gone ahead to kick in, and that is Benfica. United have some good relationship with Benfica. Lindelof to Man United, it was a Benfica deal. Then there was this other team called, another player called Alvaro Fernandez from Manchester United to Benfica, and now they're coming in for Mason Greenwood. And I think Benfica would best suit what United calls in for, because for Manchester United, they would love a sell-on clause. That is it. And for Benfica, they've gone ahead to do it on several players. You saw it onto Darwin Núñez. You saw it onto Enzo Fernandez. They bought him for 30 million euros, and there was a 20% sell-on clause. And I think for Man United, 20% sell-on clause won't be really bad, because for Mason Greenwood, they can even sell him for 120 million euros, and United can gather in some 25 to 30 million euros added onto the 40 they are really calling in for. And it's a potential talent, and I know they'll try to convince Mason Greenwood, and Mason Greenwood will be like, do you have the 40 to 45 million euros that Man United want? If you have it, go pay it. I can play for you. That is it. Because from Benfica, he can relaunch his career at the top level, and he can really tear apart that Portuguese league. He will score those goals. He can even score 70 goals this season. I tell you, he's really that deadly that he'll obviously do the needful. And I think Alvaro Fernandez will be his mate there if at all that deal is really agreed. And Juventus now has to make a decision, because United don't want Chiesa. If you tell me that you're giving us Chiesa, for what? We have enough forwards as a club of Manchester United. And for me, Chiesa ceases to make sense in any transfer that you're really talking about. So I don't want to see anyone coming in here to obviously tell us that I'm getting you Chiesa. You get? No way. You can't tell me that you're getting us Chiesa. Why? Why Chiesa? I don't want Chiesa. That is it. I don't want him. That is it. So I don't see any reason as to why someone like Chiesa will be coming to the club of Manchester United. What reason? And why would we obviously go ahead to sign a player like Chiesa, a player that is really an injury prone, and they cannot even get money out of him? So that's what I think. The battle really kicks in, you know, and I think that battle can obviously pay in better and better results as far as that beautiful game of football is really concerned. So for me, let's wait and see how that pans out. But it's really very important to note that the side of Man United are really working to move on players. And I think, however much slow we are, we should start to see players move out of the club of Manchester United, especially those that are going to be bringing in money for the club of Manchester United. We should really work upon seeing those players out of this club. So wait and see how that happens. Greenwood has said yes to Juventus, but Juventus really have a very huge say on the amount of money that United is really putting on the head of the lad. Now, Kobe Mainoo has gone ahead to start as England plays against Iceland. They're losing by 1-0 right now, and I'll have my reservations after that game. And before the game, Gareth Southgate said he's shown incredible maturity throughout the season. He made 2 fabulous appearances for us here in March. He continued to show that with Man United, and we can't wait to see him this evening. And obviously, he's really playing, and he's still on the pitch, and we can't wait to see what obviously offers. And then there came in another youngster for the club of Manchester United that has gone ahead obviously get released, and he has gone ahead and obviously put out a touching message onto his Instagram, and it read as follows from Brandon Williams. I always hoped I would have never had to make this post, but here we are. Since the age of 7, this Manchester United Football Club has been part of my life, from the cliff of Carrington day in, day out. but to have been able to make brothers which will last a lifetime. I want to thank my teammates, especially the ones I've shared the past 17 years with. Thank you for the staff, the kitmen, maintenance workers, security, the physios. I could go on and on. You are all amazing. And of course, the coaches. Then most importantly, thank you, the fans, the backbone of the club, the reason we work so hard to be able to perform at highest levels, because all of you deserve it. Watch this space. Over and out. Once a red, always a red. I know he's really saying that painfully, but his standards really dropped and couldn't obviously convince Erik ten Hag to be in his team. So thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Mason Greenwood greenlighting his transfer to Juventus. May the living God bless you abundantly. I sign out. See you later, my lovelies.